What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Pod and Play here on Nerds Gone Rogue. You can find all of our content on ngrradio.com or on youtube.com/ngrradio and our various other channels. I'm Corey, and joining me, as always, that retro code, Eddie Fresh.
Yo, yo, yo. What's up, everybody?
And also joining us is the wise Wisconsinite, Jesse Douglas.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, we're back together.
Yo, Jay Dizzle.
Let's see what.
Well,
let's see how we can not talk about this game this week.
So, everybody, as you can see, we're playing Sleeping Dogs. I might as well just go ahead and talk. This game is from Square Enix. It has a mix as an open world game. It's kind of the follow up to what was the games on Xbox? I think in PS2.
Yakuza?
It used to be a different name.
Oh, True Crime. This was going to be a True Crime game.
Yes.
Okay.
And then it
So
wasn't.
Alright,
this
I
is
didn't
kind of
even know
like
that.
yeah, because
Remember
they had
True
to,
Crime Streets of LA had Snoop Dogg in it?
yes.
Oh yeah, okay.
that's funny.
I remember those games now.
Actually, he was supposed to have his own open world game.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are supposed to have a lot of things.
Well, that never happened, of course. But yeah, this is like the third game in the entry, but it's just under the Sleeping Dogs title.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think, well, the thing is like Activision owns True Crime, that label, and so, you know, when Activision got rid of, shoot, what's the studio's name that we just saw on the splash screen? When they decided to cut their contract, Square Enix picked up the project and used the assets because this was supposed to be True Crime Hong Kong, and then Square came in and kind of saved the project. Oh my gosh, is he like stabbing him with a butcher knife? Jeez, that's violent. That seems really violent. But, you know, and Square picked up the project, and they obviously had to change the name and kind of tweak some things in order to A to sprint. Okay. In order to make the project work, and it became Sleeping Dogs, which there was gonna be a Sleeping Dogs 2, and then like there's gonna be an open world kind of GTA Online style version of Sleeping Dogs, and then the studio closed, and you obviously never saw it because, you know, it didn't. A game called Sleeping Dogs did not sell well. Surprise. It was another kind of thing where like Square didn't really market it well, and it was coming out at the end. It was coming out at the end of a console cycle, when people were anticipating the new consoles, which is this originally came out on PS3 and 360, and then we got a definitive version right before the studio closed on Xbox One and PS4.
Yeah, and it's funny that you mentioned that. Well, it's the Tomb Raider effect. This game sold I think 2 million copies. It sold very well. In fact, it got like 9s and 8s and stuff. Like, this got a lot of people hyped, and like a lot of people loved it and stuff. And I think it's because of the mixture of, you know, the Batman combat, it being open world and stuff, and it looking and played great. Like, people was like really hooked to it, and I guess I feel like Square Enix didn't believe in the project.
Yeah,
and so they closed the studio.
Sounds like another, like you said, sounds like another couple popular projects they kind of cut ties with. You know, Hitman. Gosh, dude, Hitman. I love watching people play Hitman. It's so fun. I don't like playing Hitman, but I like watching people play that game.
Like the newer ones, you mean?
Yeah. I just don't have the patience for it, you know. But it's fun to watch people play. You know, I put YouTube videos of Hitman up on the TV when I'm falling asleep.
When did you get back?
So.
Nice. Yeah,
but,
I'm gonna eventually start playing that. But
oh man, you know what?
15 years to do that.
You, Jesse, you and Matt should like start talking because we've been kind of throwing around the idea of starting a Hitman show for Matt, and we were gonna. It was a play on License to Kill, and we were gonna call it License to Kill, and have Matt play Hitman. The way that like Giant Bomb plays Hitman, where you just pick random things out of a hat to do to people.
yeah.
So I don't know if that show's ever gonna come to fruition or not. It might be up by the time you see this. It might not be. We don't know. We just kind of throw ideas out there and kind of, you know, let them sit there and not do anything. But I thought it was a cool name for the show. Anyway.
Yeah.
It's funny.
That would be funny.
And we were gonna get like the font for the James Bond movie, the License to Kill James Bond movie. Get that font and just change it. So.
That would be great.
Yeah, and just have Matt in a silhouette of Matt in a tuxedo and his aviator glasses.
Has he beaten it yet? I wonder.
I don't know. He's been streaming it, so I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I think the thing with that game though, Ed, is it's like you probably could go through and like technically beat it, but like the beauty of that game is trying to beat a level in all the different ways.
Yeah, well, they
like
said
finding all the different hidden things and weird things that you can activate, and
yeah,
it's just there's so much stuff to do. You can do it so many different ways that it's like practically limitless.
Yeah. Plus, like the campaign, if you just want to play through the campaign, it's only like 4 or 5 hours. But the point is to keep replaying the levels, like Jesse said, and figure out the different ways to kill people, or you know, there's tokens you can collect, and there's secret endings to levels. There, you know what I mean? There's so many different options and ways to play the game that it's just like, man, that's cool. And like you can either drop a chandelier on someone, or you know, there's the one from the first game where you're at like a concert and you have the what is it, like the stage fall on people or whatever, or the lighting to the stage fall on people, or have the pyrotechnics go off and hit people.
American gangs, even Asian ones,
it's funny.
Don't compare to the triads here. The Sun On Yi is the most powerful.
Yeah, I remember playing Hitman when that was on the PS2 and GameCube era. Like I played it on GameCube.
Yeah, I didn't really get into it during that time. Like these newer ones are the first versions of the Hitman games that have actually really interested me in the franchise. Just because I've said before, I love playing open world games where I don't really care about the story. It's all for me about like what kind of weird things can I do, and what kind of crazy things can I find or figure out. And so that's why like the way that these Hitman games are set up, that's like right in my alley, like right up my alley of how I like playing, certain games like that. So that's why I've been really looking forward to playing it.
It's about being stealthy and outsmarting the enemies.
Yeah.
And I guess playing dress up.
Yeah, basically. Dressing is all different weird things.
Like, my thing with Hitman was just like, where do you stuff everybody?
And like I played that, that demo, the free demo of it that you could play of two or whatever. and I would always knock the guy in the bathroom out,
I
and
think they're
then
getting it next year.
and like try to drag him. Like I would have so much fun with that. Like I played that demo thing so many times, and just was like fooling around with it. I'm glad to have the full games now. I really think I should maybe jump into those to start off my NX challenge, because I don't know, man. And it just seems so much fun. Just like I said, that little demo that I played of Hitman 2 was so much fun. I can't imagine playing a full game.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, that first full season is on Game Pass, so I mean, if people want to check it out.
Yeah.
So, which is kind of.
Yeah.
It's good that. Oh, go ahead, Corey.
I was just gonna say it's cool. The first season is on Game Pass.
Oh. Yeah. I think it's also cool that Square Enix let them keep the IP after they left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's Square gonna do? Put some kind of Final Fantasy event in it? Jeez. Oh man.
I can't wait for those games to come to Switch.
I'm really sad, by the way, that they kind of canceled all the Final Fantasy 15 DLC. I really liked that game.
Alright. That's a long challenge, the next challenge.
That's really good. I'm really, like, cause there's a bunch of story stuff that's like, that's just like not there now.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a bummer. Like, so I forget. Do we know why they did that? Like, why they just
The director of the studio left.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Plus,
about that.
plus I think like I don't think they were seeing the returns they expected, but we know Square's lofty goals of such games. So, I mean, I don't know. I really like that game, and it has some really powerful moments in it. And, you know, it's. I really like the end because it kind of reminded me of Final Fantasy X's ending, like just in terms of tone. Not necessarily what happens, but just in terms of tone, it was.
Yeah.
It was cool. I don't know. People give Final Fantasy a lot of crap, but I actually really like the last few entries. Like I actually really like 13 from what I played, even though my PlayStation 8 my save. So, but it was on sale a couple weeks ago for backwards compatibility, so I ended up getting it because I do want to play it again. But I really liked 13 from what I played of it. You know, and people seem to not like it, but I don't know. A lot of people hated 12 too, and now everybody loves it. So.
Yeah.
I don't know how they hate 12, man. I love 12.
Everybody hated 12 when it came out.
12. Yeah, the one that 12's the one that's got 2 of them, right? Or is that 13?
13's got 3 of them. 10 has 2 games.
Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of. 10 is the one with where it's an all-girl cast, right?
Yeah, the second one is, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, they kind of turned that. I mean, that's 10-2 is not very good, but 10 is great. I love 10. But I also.
I hate that snow fight. You gotta fight the one weird guy who has like the hair and stuff. How can I think of his name? He's kind of like the antagonist of the game. Aside from Sin.
Who? Seymour?
I think that's
the guy. Yeah. The guy with the big hair.
What?
Yes.
His last name
Seymour.
You okay?
Might as well be.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Get Ed Seymour butts.
So everything's cool.
Ooh.
That's a Simpsons joke.
Jackie, let's go see Winston.
I have no problem seeing more butts, but
Simpson, Bart would always make those prank calls to the Moe's Tavern. Is there a Seymour there? Seymour Butts? Hey, is there a Seymour Butts here? I'd like a Seymour Butts.
What the fuck are you think is going last, man? This is
Why
Wade.
can't I see it?
Wade Shan. I told you
So, I
about it,
don't know.
remember?
He always does.
You can't
Always
keep
says it in a way where it.
friends, Jackie. No
puts a lot.
outsider. He's not an outsider. He's from old prosperity, like us.
Yeah,
So
this
the
game though that we're
ways old
playing,
school,
like,
you know?
I
grew up with
I
the guy.
really didn't like it at first. Like it took a
Remember
little while
when
for
he
it to
did it?
catch, like to grow on me. But
Mm-hmm.
like once you learn moves, like learn like more moves and can actually like do a little bit more
By himself.
moves as a character, then it tends to get better. But it was kind of like a slow start for me.
Yeah.
And I think
It
it's
took
probably
me some time to really get through it to finally get to a point where I could enjoy it a little bit.
because you never played the Batman games, did you?
Sister, right?
Jesse.
Which ones?
The Arkham game.
The Arkham
Arkham
games?
Asylum and Arkham Knight. Well, pretty much Arkham Asylum, because I think this came after.
Okay. Yeah. I played some of them, but not all the way through.
Sorry.
But I don't know. I do need to play those. I have Arkham Asylum or whatever on my next challenge list.
Arkham
I
Asylum
believe.
is the best one.
We'll see.
Yeah.
So start with
The
that.
first game.
You know
The
that
ending's kind of weird, but
problem we got in the
what are you
market?
gonna do? But I
Why don't
mean,
you take
the
Wade?
game.
Yeah, and I mean I'm a big Batman and Batman fan and stuff. So
You are?
like
Gasp.
I am too.
yeah, Batman and Spawn. Those are my two main
Yes.
favorite characters. I just love the Spawn characters. Just the Spawn comics are just so amazing. Like the whole, it's just another level of like, I don't know. Like you've got like the closest thing I think that there is to the Spawn is like maybe Deadpool, but that's like too like humorous and it's not the same. I mean, I like
funny.
Deadpool. Don't get me wrong, but it's just like the whole idea of the Spawn games are just awesome.
I kind of like, cause that new Spawn movie I guess is coming out with Jamie Foxx's Spawn, but like,
Yeah,
I really like kind of expected it to be kind of like Deadpool, to be honest with you. Like the movie.
Yeah, but
he came out and said that it's not.
Yeah.
It's gonna be serious in tone. It's not gonna be like.
yeah, no. Well, and that's the thing though is the Spawn comics are very like you have Violator or whatever the clown guy in Spawn, but he looks like a clown, but he's like very evil. There's like nothing funny about the Spawn games. Like it's nothing like Deadpool. Like the only thing that it's similar to Deadpool is like Spawn can kind of like he can't really die. He can regenerate.
Yeah.
And
Sounds
like
that Wolverine game.
because he basically he's basically sold his soul to the devil.
And it was just getting interesting.
And
Winston,
He come back to
my
life,
old
right?
friend.
yeah,
So
and
good to
but
see
he
you.
like he's not technically a bad
Oh,
guy,
Winston, wait. Brother,
but
I just came to talk
but
to
he
you, man.
is fueled by by hate, and so like it's a lot to do with like the revenge and stuff because his wife I believe was murdered or something.
Fighting like children.
It was like a setup.
Yeah.
Who's the new blood?
I really should go back and read the whole origin. Like I can't remember what it's on, but I am pretty sure the whole entire animated series of Spawn is on either Hulu or Amazon or something. It's
Yeah,
somewhere.
because it might be on
that
Hulu
that
because
was
it was
really good.
it was originally on
loved that.
HBO
Yeah.
when it came
I
out.
loved that animated series. It was so well done. it like captured the. I mean, it was, you know, I think it was basically wasn't it directed by McFarlane?
Yeah, it was.
I thought he had a major. So that's like when people say that they like didn't, you know, don't like that he's like has anything to do with the movie. I feel like whatever he did with those, whatever they did with those those animated series on HBO, they made it seem like it was basically like the comics like come to life, you know, on screen. And if they can capture what they did in that animated series in a live action way, like it could be a really good movie. You know, at least for a Spawn fan, you know, like there's gonna be a lot of people who just won't get it because they just don't care. But
it's probably because they haven't read the comic. I don't think.
yeah,
Like, to really understand Spawn, it's like you kind of gotta read the graphic novel.
yeah.
Like I was buying the Spawn comics at Walgreens, and
Yeah.
I just happened to buy it because I seen Spawn in a Santa outfit, and I was just like, I want to draw that. But then I read the comic, and I was just like, oh, this is really good.
Yeah.
Even
Well,
though
and
kids shouldn't have read Spawn.
Well, and it was kind of cool, like having, you know, like, I mean, not real. I don't like it. Like the casual person or people, you know, probably don't even realize that Spawn is black. You know, it's like a black man that basically died and become, you know, like, because all you see is that outfit. You don't really see anything other than that, you know, unless you read that first comic.
Yeah.
But, you know, it was just kind of like, I don't know, it was just so intriguing, like when I had first come upon, you know, that series, and I just like fell in love with it like instantly. And then, you know, eventually the animated series came out and I watched that a little bit. I didn't get to see all of it just because I didn't always have HBO, you know, to be able to watch any of it, because I usually caught it on reruns. So
Yeah, I didn't get to finish the second season. I watched the first season, but I didn't get to finish the second one of it.
yeah.
So speaking of, oh, go ahead, Jesse.
Oh, I was gonna say, and I'm like one of the few people who actually like the original movie. I understand and accept that it isn't that great of a movie, but I still liked it. Like, to me, it's just as campy and cheesy as those original, like, Michael Keaton Batman movies and stuff were. So
I love the Michael Keaton Batman movies. Those are the best ones.
Yeah, I liked them too. Dark Knight will always be my favorite, just because I feel like they did such a good job of capturing the like that part of the Batman universe. But
you know, I didn't feel the Dark Knight, and we had this conversation multiple times, so like, there's no need to get into it or anything.
I think the reason why like the Dark Knight was like, I mean, that series of films in general. I guess Batman in general. I think Batman's an interesting character, but like, I think what makes Batman work is that he's like the interesting part of Batman are the villains. It's not him, you know, and I think that's why the Dark Knight works so well. But, you know, like, in terms of like, in terms of just like the movies, like, I honestly don't really care for that trilogy of movies. I do like the Dark Knight, but like as an overall trilogy, I don't know. I didn't really care for Batman Begins, and I definitely didn't really care for the third one. But I don't know. I really thought Heath Ledger did something cool with the Joker that people really hadn't seen before, you know? Because like even though what's his face, who played the Joker in the Michael Keaton movie, like you've seen that character before. Like he plays a very
Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, he plays a very like
Yeah.
common version of the Joker, whereas like Heath Ledger's Joker was like intense and just super methodical. And,
He was
It
he was the Dark Knight Joker. Like he was the Joker, like the very dark and the very very sinister. Like that's why I like the Dark Knight, is just because it's the more
serious tone.
dark and sinister universe of the in the Batman franchise. And like it just like we've had all the campy Batman movies, and we had a long time ago had the TV show and all that stuff, and it was just kind of refreshing to finally have a real like dark and gritty Batman movie, and like and at the same time like they did a really good job in the Gotham TV show. Like they did a really good job in that of portraying Bruce Wayne as a child and stuff like that, and that show is so good. Like
yeah, I
just
really like Gotham a lot.
it's seriously
I need to
it's
finish.
so good because it's so different.
Yeah,
It's so different, and like it's just like they got an amazing chance to do something with the Batman universe, like cinematically, that we haven't been able to really ever even get much of a vision of, other than just showing like a flashback of his parents being killed, and that's it, in movies. So like to actually get to see him live out his younger years and like slowly introduce the characters that will eventually become villains, it's been so much fun watching that show.
yeah.
So
I'm still on the 4th season because it's on Netflix right now, but
oh, okay.
I need to finish it. But like I actually really do like that show. I know that's kind of like an unpopular opinion, I guess, to not like that show, but like I like it because it has this weird like I want to be like the 70s detective noir thing, but it also has like the technology of like today, where they're using the what's all
Want some
this
clothes?
crap. Sure, why not?
But
they
it was
have
it's
technology,
kind of
and
weird
the
though.
cars are cool. Like I just
It was kind of weird though with Gotham, that it kind of was.
Come again.
It was kind of supposed to be a story that told more about what's his name, than it was about Batman.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, the detective
Gordon.
why am I
Yeah.
yeah, Gordon, yeah
So,
before he
became
kind
the
of
chief.
turns, yeah.
And see, I don't know if he's still the chief in
That was awesome, man. All this teen is like you were born in
in the TV show, because I kind of stopped after the second series.
no, it's
I mean,
kind
the
of
sixth,
Oh.
second season.
his. I think he probably will become the commissioner in the last season.
Is he still a detective or in
Yeah.
this one?
Yeah, well, there's a point where he does have to stop because of some stuff that happens. I won't really spoil it for you guys, but I mean, it kind of somewhat, like a lot of major changes happen throughout the seasons of that show, and things switch back and forth kind of in some ways, and yeah, there's all kinds of changes, all kinds of things happen on that show. There a lot goes on that show. Like like for me, like my favorite part about watching that show is just when we see a character, a new character show up, and we're like, oh, I know what villain that is, and then you just get all excited about it. Like for me, That's why I love when those moments in that show. One of my friends, Ryan, that's a massive Batman fan. I invited him to the Secret Friends Unite, you know, page or whatever, because he's into all that kind of stuff, you know, really big comics and all that. And so, like, me and him are always, you know, a lot of the times we'll start talking about Gotham, because me and him are just both, like, just love the hell out of that show. You know, we nerd out over it all the time. But yeah, I just love. I was just so glad that we got to see that side of the whole Batman universe, and even, you know, the, like I said, the you know, the villains and stuff, getting to see what they were like before, you know, they're also grown up and stuff like that. And, you know, and getting to see, like, how some of them changed into what they did. You know, like Poison Ivy, you get to see how she, you know, how she kind of transitions into that character and stuff like that. Talk about a weird storyline. She's like, gets infected and then like,
but she's
all
like,
of a sudden just
she's
like 12. Turns
12.
into an adult.
Yeah, she's like 12, and then she
12,
gets in.
But she turns into an adult.
It makes you feel really uncomfortable because she like
she
goes
Catwoman.
No, Poison Ivy.
No, Poison Ivy.
She's like this like preteen girl, and then she gets infected by the plants and becomes like a probably she looks like she's in her early 20s.
Yeah,
and it
like
makes you
30,
feel really
like
uncomfortable.
30s. Yeah.
But she's still like,
because
she still has the brain of like a 13-year-old.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is.
Yeah, because she was like basically in a cocoon that like sped up her aging or whatever. Her body, it's really weird.
Who was Commissioner Gordon's girlfriend or fiance? What did she turn into?
She's a villain now.
Yeah, but which villain?
Oh wait, which one? Barbara or the chick from Deadpool? The dark-haired girl.
The blonde girl, the first one.
She's a
she's a villain.
Where I'm at in the story, she's like trying to be like a arms dealer or whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
And
yeah, that's where you are.
And Butch is back, but he's Solomon Grundy now.
Yeah.
Which is a really weird thing to watch happen.
Yeah.
Also. And then the dark-haired, like, the doctor is like a underground, like, she like works for like a fight club. Like a
she's a doctor. Yeah,
wow.
she's a nurse for the underground like fight club, where people basically go to watch people kill one another and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
Riddler is still the forensic guy.
No, he's not anymore. He's actually the Riddler now.
Yeah.
And
oh, that's what I said. He like finally became the Riddler, the forensic guy.
Yeah, and he's been trying to suppress him at you know, like in the more recent stuff. He tried to get rid of him. Then he eventually comes back because like there's a whole big massive storyline that goes on with him, and like he finally finds a girl that he falls in love with and all that kind of stuff. And, yeah, it's such a that show goes so deep. There's so much stuff going on in that show.
Yeah, there's a lot.
It's awesome.
Because they're trying to keep Batman away from.
Well, they're teasing.
They were just like they're
teasing
it. They're teasing Batman.
Yeah, he basically like in the newer season, the last season and like the next season, he basically has become, you know, mini
Is he
Batman.
still in high school?
Yeah. Well, I don't think he's technically in school, but because he basically was homeschooled and he's like super smart.
Yeah.
super intelligent.
Let me tell you what, though.
But he
Alfred,
hasn't did
this is the coolest version of Alfred I think they've had.
Oh yeah,
Alfred
Yeah.
is cool.
the Alfred in this show is like freaking amazing. Like I love that dude
He's
as
like-
an actor too.
Yeah,
He's an awesome actor.
Yeah, he's like an ex-special ops, like British special ops officer, and like
Yeah.
he's like the butler, but he's training Bruce how to like fight and stuff. It's awesome. He's cool.
Yeah.
That's interesting because he was teaching them boxing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and then
Yeah.
eventually they worked into like doing more stuff and like I think using weapons and shit like that too. But yeah, this show just keeps on getting that's one of those shows that just gets better with every season. Like it never gets dull.
Like, I mean, the one thing I do wish though is I wish like they would have kept up with like the current Joker storyline. You know, I know there's stuff that happens and they kind of changed stuff.
Yeah.
But I thought like the way they worked in where like Jerome kind of like where like he has like the person that wants to be him and they cut off his face and then he staples it back on.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's so just like bizarre and kind of like gross and cool at the same time, you know?
Yeah, it's that Dark Knight Joker. It's he basically was the Joker that we seen in the Dark Knight, you know, like Joker in that movie. That's him as a kid, basically. Like that's the, you know, that's why I like Gotham so much, is because we're seeing basically the origin story to the Dark Knight. There's a lot of theories that have been going around because you know, like in the Batman universe, there's alternate universes where the Batmans and certain characters are different people.
Uh-huh.
And things like that, and the theory was that he might not, that the Bruce Wayne that we're seeing in this show might actually not be Batman. It might be the is it Owl Man or whatever,
Because the
Court of the Owls.
Yeah,
thing.
but they already did that storyline, so I don't know why they would make him bad.
There's an alternate universe where he doesn't become Batman. He becomes more of an evil version of Batman.
Oh, the Court of Owls.
Yeah, but I doubt
There's so many stories about that.
Speaking of Court of Owls, I guess that's supposed to be the next Batman game, like the next Arkham game. Oh my gosh, I just sliced
okay.
his head off. That's gross.
Yeah, Owlman is the name of several fictional characters who appear in the comic book published by DC Comics. The characters are villainous, alternative universe captures counterparts of Batman. So like it's like in a different universe. Instead of him becoming Batman, he becomes Owlman.
But the Court of Owls is a new kind of storyline, right?
No,
because the Court of Owls, because the Court of Owls happened, like I think around 2015 or 16. There was like I think a 6-issue thing about it, and then
that was a remake. That was the part of the New 52 where they redid all the main stories from the original Batman.
But I never heard of the Court of Owls. I never heard of the Court of Owls until they did the New 52. Because even they did DC animated. They have the Court of Owls movie, which is really good. So I was thinking, I always thought the Court of Owls was brand new because they didn't do them on the animated TV show. of course, the original colored and black and white ones didn't do it. And I just never seen no issue of comics back from the 90s and even early 2000s even mention the Court of Owls. So that's why I think like it's kind of like a new thing for DC. Because I read it in the I think I believe I got all 6 issues. That I read it in that way. I read it in that format in the comics.
Yeah, I think technically that's the first time it shows up like in that form. But I want to say I thought it had something to do with an existing storyline, but it was like like part of an alternate universe. But maybe I don't know.
I think with the New 52, I don't know if that was a different universe or anything. I know it's just kind of like a reboot for all the comics. That was like one of the first, I guess, like new villain storyline things, like organizations and stuff. Like that was the first time I had heard of it, like I said. But if they want to bring it. If they want to bring it to make another Batman Arkham game like that using the Court of Owls, they can and expand on it because the Court of Owls, that stuff is crazy.
Well, the rumor right now is that the team that did Arkham Origins is working on Batman Arkham, like, set in that Arkham universe, but it's a Court of Owls game.
Okay,
so
which would be awesome.
I mean, I think it's set.
I love the whole secret society stuff.
Yeah, I mean, they've made it pretty clear that Arkham Origins is in its own universe, but
I want to give you a chance,
like, I think it'd be cool to actually have a sequel to that game because I actually really loved that game. I thought that game's actually my favorite out of all of them. But
Inspector, there's been a misunderstanding.
Misunderstanding, sir.
Origins.
Yeah, I think Origins is cool.
Sir, I have it on record that he's son on Yi.
I understand that.
I can't simply just cut him loose.
Yeah.
Origins was good.
Has the best boss
Like,
fight
I
in
don't
the
need-
games. The Deathstroke boss fight is awesome.
What?
I want to play that, but I have it for Wii U, so I might probably hook it up and play it.
Yeah, I have it for Wii U also. That's where
Congratulations, Tank.
Dude, I
So
played
now
the
you
crap
know.
out of the game. Sonic got it for me
you
for
can make
Christmas
sure
one
that we're
year,
helping Wayne.
and like I didn't come out of the game room for like 2 weeks because
Yeah,
I
it
was
doesn't
playing
seem
that
like I have
game.
much of a choice.
No, you
Nice.
don't. Now see yourself.
Permission to speak freely.
Yeah, because
You need to be more careful, Wayne.
So,
Much more careful.
but guys, we are approaching the hour mark.
I don't want to
I
hear
know,
it.
it's sad.
Be careful.
We're having such great conversations, but this has been another edition of Pod and Play. Again, Sleeping Dogs. Didn't really talk about it much, but it's a great game. I
give it time. That's all I say.
Yeah, it's got kind of a slow start, but once you kind of get into it, it's got some really cool triad versus cop experience stuff, and a really cool mission structure. It's a cool game, and I really recommend you check it out. It's available on Xbox One and PS4. Yeah, you get I bought one earlier, and it increased
the
my
Dragon
strength.
Kick.
Yeah.
Or what is it? Draco?
Dragon Punch.
Yeah,
I think it's called Dragon Punch. And then it's a cool game, so I highly recommend you check it out. It's available on Xbox One and PS4. I think it's on Game Pass, if I'm not mistaken. If not, it's relatively cheap by now, so you can.
Right, they always got a sale going on.
Yeah,
or you can get it used.
I think it was free at some point through Gold.
That's how I got it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I got the physical real cheap. So
I'm gonna run around in my underpants.
I'm gonna buy some sushi.
Let's see. You can find Pod and Play every Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time through the end of May. Hopefully you guys are having a good time with this this season. Custom what? I'm really confused at what's happening here, but that's okay. You can find all of our content on ngrradio.com. I got really sidetracked. You can download all of our podcasts, including Nerds Gone Rogue, Arsenal X, Nerds Gone Platinum, Nintendo Power Block, Javelins for Hire, our Anthem podcast, Dark Zone Junkies, our Division podcast, and Tower Casuals, our Destiny podcast for the Casual Guardian. Hopefully you check out all of our podcasts. Also download the B-Sides and More feed, which is interviews, movie commentaries, and of course the B-Sides conversations that we have on Nerds Gone Rogue. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, keep on playing.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.